Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about a lost kids show called Jolly Roger. A 8-year-old named Ethan was a kid that was hard to keep occupied for a long period of time until him and his dad discovered this TV show called Jolly Roger. Ethan's dad was scrolling through a list of kids show. Ethan wasn't interested in any of the shows until they came across this show called Jolly Rogers in red bold letters. His dad thought it might be aimed towards younger kids than his age and suggested Ethan chose a different show. Ethan insisted on watching Jolly Rogers, so the dad agreed and decided to watch the first episode with Ethan to make sure it was okay for him to watch. The episode started with a loud, happy song with trumpets and drums playing in the background as a man walked on the screen. He came from inside a large pirate ship, and he walked up to the camera as the word Jolly Rogers pops up on the screen. The man wore a long-sleeve purple shirt, black jeans, and medium-length curly black hair with a huge grin on his face. The man began to talk and says, "Hello, kids. How are we all today? I hope we are all happy, happy, happy. My name is Jolly Rogers. I hope we all have a good time today. We will be singing, we will be dancing, and of course we will be having fun." The show seemed like your normal kids show. It continued how you would think. Jolly Rogers pulls out a guitar and sings some nursery rhymes. Then he begins to teach some dance moves, then moved into the arts and crafts part of the show. In this episode, he was teaching kids how to make a pencil holder. Once the pencil holder has been built, Jolly Rogers says it was time for him to go. But before he goes, he says, "Before I go, we can't forget to sing the Jolly Rogers song." Then started singing a short song. The lyrics went, "Every day is happy, so don't be a grand dodger. So smile big and smile wide, just like Jolly Roger." He finished the song and then waved bye to the camera. Then the episode ended. The dad figured the show would be fine for Ethan to watch, so he went to do some work while Ethan continued watching the show. Ethan seemed perfectly happy to continue watching the show, which was strange for him because he would usually watch one episode of a show, then get bored and go do something else. But this time he was interested and continued watching the show. The dad was happy about this since this would give him some time to himself. So he got up and let Ethan know he was going to his office, but Ethan was so focused on the show that he didn't answer. And before he knew it, 2 hours have passed, and Ethan hasn't made any noises, which was strange for Ethan. So the dad went back to check on Ethan, and Ethan was still sitting in the same spot, watching the same show. The dad looked at the TV and saw that Ethan was already on episode 6. The dad grabbed the remote and paused the TV and told Ethan it was time for dinner. Ethan didn't get mad or try to protest. He just said, "Okay," and went to the kitchen. Family ate dinner like everything was normal. Everything seemed to be fine until it was bedtime. While Ethan was brushing his teeth, the dad went into his room to get it ready for Ethan to go to bed. The dad then noticed something underneath Ethan's bed. He reached down and pulled out a roll of toilet paper, and on each end, a thin piece of toilet paper was covering each side. He heard something rattle inside of the roll, so he looked to see what was inside of the roll. There was a small tooth. The dad then hears footsteps behind him. He turned around and saw Ethan standing in the doorway with one hand behind his back. The dad said, "You didn't tell me you'd lost another baby tooth. When did you lose it?" Ethan said, "Today I pulled it out myself." The dad asked, "What do you mean you pulled it out yourself?" Ethan looks at him for a second, then says, "Jolly Roger told me to. He told me that the magic wouldn't work if I didn't do it. It was part of his arts and crafts, he told me. I needed one of my teeth and some of your blood." Ethan then steps towards his dad, pulls his hand out from behind his back, revealing a razor blade. Ethan then swung the razor blade at his dad, leaving a long, narrow cut on the top of his fingertip, causing his dad to drop the paper roll. Ethan quickly bends down and grabs the toilet paper roll and places it on his dad's wounded finger. The dad then places Ethan into his bed and takes the toilet paper that contained the tooth and the smeared blood, then left his son's bedroom. This behavior was completely unexpected from Ethan, as you would think. But something had him more worried than just the violence. It was that Ethan said that Jolly Roger told him to do it. The dad wanted to know what Ethan was talking about, so he spent a couple hours watching the show, and everything seemed normal. And there was no mention of blood or teeth. He only made innocent little crafts, as you would normally see on a kid's show. He was now finishing the 6th episode when he felt 2 fingers on each side of his face, forcing their way inside of his mouth, forcing it to go up, forcing a large, unwanted, painful smile. He's now paranoid of anyone he sees smiling. Maybe they were just happy. Or maybe their kid also watched an episode of Jolly Roger. Anyways, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys in my next video. Bye!